Alright, every year around March, if you're a fan of college ball and gaming, you probably think about scratching that itch, but there aren't a lot of options available. NCAA Basketball 10 was the last full college basketball game released, which was more than 15 years ago, and after getting back into it lately, I just felt like sharing what makes it still playable in 2025, why it might be worth it for you, what to expect, and what not to expect. If you don't know whether to make the effort to find a copy and play it, make sure you watch until the end. Now, I realize people have been getting glimpses of college basketball gaming in recent NBA 2Ks via my career or custom teams, but let's be clear, it's not comparable. Controlling your My Player or generic players with college jerseys on is nothing without the experience of landing a big recruit, building a program over the years, seeing your guys evolve, the unpredictability of the tournament, and everything else that makes Division I college basketball unique. Obviously, whenever you go back to an old game you loved, there's kind of a realization that you might have seen it with rose-colored glasses back in the days, but NCAA Basketball 10 still holds a lot of value today, and here's why. Before even playing a single game, you can tell from the trailers that they got at least one thing right. EA really captured the electric college sports atmosphere and the intensity of March Madness. Of course, you get somewhat used to it after playing for a while, but still, the anticipation of playing a team you hadn't played before at their home stadium remains. How can I put this? The game doesn't really feel like basketball. And not only compared to modern games, by standards of the time, controlling your players is a frustrating experience best kept to once in a while. I'll be real, your teammates rarely do what you want them to. Sometimes you try to pass to a wide open guy, and he'll either come super close to you to catch the ball or do weird cuts into traffic that don't make sense. Also, the post game is almost non-existent, but I guess not a lot of emphasis is put on that in real life college basketball either. I don't know. Dribble moves are fun. You can chain animations up fluidly or interrupt them at any time to drive or shoot. The problem is both ball handling and freestyle passing can't be set to camera relative, so anything other than an overhead camera is hard to play. And even then, on the wing, sometimes players won't dribble the direction you want. Physics and animations are pretty rough too. You get used to most of it, but it's hard to ignore things like rebounds falling into the hands of the one player who didn't jump, or pump fakes in the paint looking like your player is having a seizure. There's also a bit of a delay sometimes. Players might stay completely static for a full second when you click the steal button, for example, or a command might not register if you press a button too fast after receiving a pass. Annoying stuff, but the presentation makes up for it.
What they need are some easy layups or a couple of nice putbacks.
That's really where this game shines. The presentation is amazing. First off, colors are vibrant, they look great in everything from jerseys to shoes and floors. The ESPN and CBC broadcasts are just sick. Visuals, music, camera shakes, and commentators really capture the excitement of college ball. And also, the crowd is loud and reactive to what's going on the court. To me, you won't really want to focus on gameplay and animations looking pretty. This game is about momentum, intensity, and tempo. I could complain about player models. From up close, dudes look kinda weird with their elbows all twisted, and some players are built like sumo wrestlers sometimes, but that's just EA, I guess. To sum it up, when it comes to how the game feels, despite its many flaws, I always end up playing a couple games per season or interrupting simulating to jump in from time to time, just to keep things fresh and fun, especially important games or against teams I really want to check out myself. I assume most people who play this game today are like me. I'll never play a quick game or start a tournament with a random team. Dynasty mode is where it's at. You really get to build a program from the ground up, grow your reputation as a coach, improve facilities which helps your players improve faster. As your program gets better, higher profile recruits have more interest, your school prestige and fan attendance increase, and you might be invited to play big preseason tournaments or to switch to a bigger conference. It really feels like there's progression. The amount of teams you can coach and situations you'll find yourself in are almost endless. With 344 schools and an insane amount of player names, things don't feel overly repetitive. By the way, players aren't given names as you boot the game, but you can have everyone be randomly assigned one. You also have a lot of freedom in building your playbook from a deep library and can give plays custom names. What draws me to this game above everything else is that the game feels timeless. And this isn't unique to NCAA Basketball 10, but with players coming and going under 4 seasons, your roster always feels new. And also, college basketball games don't give you that feeling you get 3 seasons into an NBA 2K's My GM or My NBA mode, where you have hyper-realistic stars sharing the court with weird-looking, randomly generated blonde guys with cornrows, tribal tattoos, and 7 different sweatbands. Here, there isn't a distinction between generated and real players, so no one stands out with weird accessories. Years pass and everything evolves organically. That's kind of what I mean when I say timeless. The unpredictability of everything is why we enjoy March Madness so much, and I actually am excited to see how the postseason unfolds every year, even though it's not real life. Every game you play has more weight than when playing an NBA video game, and with star players leaving to the league as soon as they can, it's actually exciting finding out how they do in college, what numbers they'll average, and whether they'll turn pro, stick around, or even transfer if it wasn't a good fit. For anyone who loves NCAA hoops, it's hard to ignore the passion and energy this game brings to the table. And I'm telling you, it's kind of a decent option while we wait for another college basketball game to hit the market, one day hopefully. I could have said a lot more probably, but I just wanted this to be a quick overview, especially for people who haven't played yet but are considering it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and old school basketball games in general. I should make more vids with NCAA Basketball 10 in the future, so take it easy and I'll see you soon.
He gets that ball in the low block and immediately goes with a shot. Nope. For the bucket, with a layup.